Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to the final instalment of this mini little box set. Cloudwater beers with... Oh, that's cat hair, huh? See that? Cloudwater beer with big ideas, IPA collaboration pack. And we've got the final beer. So far, for me, the beers just haven't been doing it. So I'm hopeful that this beer might be memorable anyway. So let's pick the final beer out, which is this one. And we're going off to, well, basically this is a collaboration between Cloudwater and Queer Brewing. Now, I've heard some good things about Queer Brewing, so I'm quite excited about this. It's 6%, and it is a can of their Our Love Fills the Air. And they must be the two owners of Queer Brewing. It'll either be two men or two women. No, I've got to behave myself in this one. I don't want any thumbs downs. Well, Anyway, it says, this IPA is a collaboration brewed with Queer Brewing using our favourite malt base and yeast and features Citra. Citra for me is, I have to say, is very widely used, but I have to say it's one of my favourite hops, Citra. Queer Brewing is a queer-owned brewery. I mean, going to the word queer, it's a bit, old school, isn't it? You go back to the 80s where it was just being a little bit of a taboo. 70s, 80s, with the mass media and that, and you don't want to talk to him or her, they're queer, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? If you know what I'm getting at. It's a queer-owned brewery providing visibility and representation for the LGBTQ plus people, whoever the hell they are, using beer as a vehicle for social change. Our beers raise money for the vital LGBTQ plus charities. As we work to make beer a little more approachable for those outside and a little more, queer on the inside. I'm sorry, but it gets me a little bit. I'm not homophobic, but it just gets me a little bit wound up where they're kind of like portraying that the beer drinkers, beer drinking is a masculine male type of thing, you got to be a man to drink beer, or you got to be normal. I'll say normal because they say they're queer. Normal, you know what I mean? And that creates a boundary already. Anybody can enjoy beer, whether they're whatever they want to do in their private life. Anyway, what anybody wants to do in their private life is none of my business, boys and girls. I'm here to review this beer. So I'm going to crack it open, like you do. See what we get. A slight hint of dankness, and to be honest with you, so far out of this box set, this one's got the most aroma. It has. But it's not a massive amount of aroma. So basically, to cut a long story short with this box set, they've used the same malt, the same yeast, basically brewing it on a massive, massive scale. And basically, they're just changing the hop. And when you look at it in the bigger context, it's quite easy for them to churn out these little packs, isn't it? And that's what they're doing. They're just changing the hop profile. Everything else is the same with these beers, apart from the non-alcoholic one. So, says the Ellen address in Scotland again on it. This is, out of all of them, the most hazy looking. It does look nice, actually, to be honest with you. The aroma. Again, there's a slight hint of dankness, but with all these hops in these beers, they're kind of dampened down in the aroma. They're kind of like kept down. So before I drink this final beer, I think this beer, I hope it isn't going to be. It's going to be alcohol. It's going to be the alcohol presence, the bitterness pushed together, and it will disguise a lot of the hop character like the previous two IPAs, because I think these beers are brewed exactly the same under the same conditions, just change the hop profile. So, cheers everybody. This is the best one in the pack. This is the best beer in the pack. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's not as harsh on the bitterness. It's not as harsh on the alcohol presence. And straight away, it's the mouthfeel which really greets you. It's a real soft mouthfeel. And out of the 4 beers, this is the best one. And it's not even a close contest. This one is way out in front of the rest of them. So I do feel slightly aggrieved, boys and girls, with this, because I've, an Ayrton Senna, that's Cockney wine for tenner, on 4 beers, and only one of them really does stand on its own. I'm going again. Lovely citrus note there. It's a not too harsh citrus note for me. It's kind of like covered with a lovely smooth. It's kind of like a harsh citrus note, but it's kind of like being smothered in a way in a lovely smooth mouthfeel. Slightly dry, but I have to say, it's not spectacular, okay? This beer isn't spectacular, but compared to the other 3 in that box, it is spectacular. If you know what I'm getting at. So for me, I have to say, this is the only beer for me out of this box which really kind of like gives me enjoyment in a way. I haven't enjoyed any of them. It's got a lovely, smooth, creamy feel to it. Very well balanced. Very well drinkable. And I have to say, boys and girls, for a pair of old rug munchers, Queer Brewing, it's done a good one. So, boys and girls, would I recommend this? Would I recommend this box? No chance. It's a waste of money. Don't bother, because 3 of them you'd be very disappointed in. You really were. So you really are. Just really were. So I wouldn't bother buying it. I really wouldn't. I really would not bother buying that. As for the Cloudwater name, it was up there at the beginning. It's fallen for me. It really has. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brewdog buy Cloudwater. I can see it in the stars. I'm the first one to say that, I bet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this one. As ever, please subscribe, leave me in the comments, and give that box set a miss. Really, really, do me a favour. Give it a miss. Cheers, everyone.